Did you just see how fat I was? Yep, F-A-T. I was that way for 25 years. I was a diabetic and I did not know it. I go back in my health app, my A1C, if you know anything about that, was 10.1. It's 5.3 now. If you're a fat male over 60, like I was, and you've been told this is just aging, you've got to watch this, okay? I'm going to be blunt, because that's the way I am. You do not have to be and accept being fat at 60, being overweight. You do not need to accept this. And I know everything you've heard about dieting, and you've tried, like me, probably tried 20, 30 diets over your lifetime, and they never worked out. Mine never worked out till the last one. Well, I'm going to give you a way that I did it. And the key to the whole diet thing is to never be hungry. Because when you're hungry, you grab anything. Anything in a box or a bag, which I don't eat anymore. And believe it or not, it didn't take much willpower. You've just got to have a strong enough reason, a little willpower for a couple of days, and then you're going to get kind of used to it. And you're going to go through a metamorphosis. But let's get into the video. We'll talk more about that later. I was a fat male over 60, as you saw. Diabetic, scared, until I stopped accepting it. Hi, I'm Greg Colosi. I'm 69 years young, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA, and I don't even have a college degree. In fact, I even flunked 11th grade English. I do have a degree in the School of Life, just like you do. This 60 plus years that you've been on this earth, you've learned a boatload of stuff, okay? As I have. I've been an entrepreneur for over 50 years. I'm creator of this YouTube channel, Wealth, Health, Prosperity, and Legacy, 60 plus. And I'm founder of my newest business. I started at age 69. The age I am now is called lifestoryforyourgrandkids.com. We're not going to talk about this in there, but there's information on it down below. I help people like you write your life story for your grandchildren to leave a legacy. My thought was to do this video for my fat friends. And the video is going to go out to my fat friends. And I got a bunch of them. I'm a golfer, and I got a list, okay? I've got a list of golfers that come to, I'm in my man cave here. It's separate from my house. It's about 75 yards away. And I have a lot of parties, and I've got 100 people on my golf list. And they don't all show up every time I have a party, but 20, 30, 40 of them do, depending upon when I do it. I'm going to have one in about 10 days from now. And there's a lot of fat people on that list, okay? And I can say fat because I was fat, okay? I was up to 260 pounds. That picture you saw me in, 260, baby, okay? And now I'm down to 190, 195, depending upon the day, or the time of the day that I weigh myself. So why I'm talking to you about this weigh, okay? My friends know me as a straight shooter. Some say I'm very blunt. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat anything. That's how I'm wired. My dad was like this, I'm like this, and honestly, I'm even more blunt than he was, I think. Growing up, things were said to us directly. I've got 3 brothers and a sister, always straightforward, never sugarcoated, but it was always meant positively, a positive spin on it. I'm very, very blunt with my golf buddies, especially on golf trips. I do have a filter with family, people that I don't know. There's somewhat of a filter, but I'm with my golf buddy. There is no filter, okay? We let it all out. We joke. We bust chops. We try to be funny. But when things get serious, the jokes stop and we talk very, very bluntly. That's how real conversations happen. Some former friends couldn't handle that. They were thin-skinned, and they are no longer part of our golf tribe. No anger, just reality. This video is that kind of honesty. Not judgment, not superiority. There's concern. Everything I say is meant in a positive light, so please take it that way. The urgency. I'm using the word fat on purpose. Not to insult, but to wake up my fat male friends over 60. Time matters more now than ever. I lost, like I said, 65, 70 pounds. My A1C went from 10.1, it's 5.3 now. I reversed my diabetes naturally with food. I'm on no medications whatsoever, not a thing. And this is living proof of men over 60 can be healthy. So men over 60, health-wise, can be healthy. I had neuropathy in my feet. When I walked, it hurt. I was very afraid that I couldn't play golf because that's what I do. I get over 100 rounds in a year. And my feet, I walked around, this was like 2.5 years ago. I walked the first round of the year. My feet were so sore. I was so upset. And that's when I began my journey about 3 years ago. It stopped being first though, the fear changed how I thought, okay? It stopped being about golf. It became about my wife, Andrea, about my 3 grandkids. I wanted energy. I wanted presence to be there. And I want these years that I have left, I want to feel good and be able to do things. I don't want to be in a chair or in a nursing home just vegetating, okay? As a male over 60, you do not have to accept decline. Men over 60, health decline is treated as inevitable. Doctors often say, oh, you're just getting older. All my patients your age have this. This is normal aging. I don't like the word problem, okay? I say challenge, but this message is still accept it, okay? They want you to accept it. You do not have to accept it. Let me repeat that. You do not have to accept it. You don't have to accept that aging is inevitable, rapid decline is not. Common sense. Common does not mean acceptable for overweight men over 60. The lie about disease, okay? We are told disease cannot be reversed. I reversed my diabetes with food, no medication. I went off the medication when I started, okay? And within 3 months, I was not a diabetic any longer. My doctor had a fit. That's another video, okay? I remember when I was younger, I heard, I always heard food was medicine, but I kind of believed it, but didn't until recently when this happened to me, okay? Food is medicine. I didn't understand it. Now I've lived it. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, there is no doubt in my mind. I shout from the top of the trees to anybody that will listen about it. You don't need more pills. In most cases, you need the right food. And what we've been told since like the early 70s, the American food pyramid is a bunch of BS, okay? 55% of our diet is supposed to be carbs, okay? I don't eat much of that at all, okay? If any carbs, every day. Actually, I'm pretty close to 0 carbs, unless I have a light beer. You need the right food. Food is medicine for men over 60's health. Important disclaimer, I'm not telling you to stop medicating or getting medication. Don't do anything reckless. I'm not a doctor, remember, or a CPA, or have a college degree, or an attorney. I was on metformin, and I stopped myself. I made the decision because we're all guys here, right? I was shitting my brains out with it every single day, and I didn't like it. I had diarrhea every single day, okay? I was on blood pressure medication. Yesterday, my blood pressure was 117/79. If you know anything about that, under 120 is superb. And I'm not saying this to brag, okay? I'm as excited saying it to you as maybe you are hearing it, hopefully. It blows my mind. I was up to like 135, 140, okay, on the first number a while ago. And the food changed it. The questions you must ask your doctor. When your doctor says you need this medication, ask, what else can I do besides medication? Then wait. If the answer is, oh, you're just getting older, or this is what happens, I'm going to say this plainly. That is bullshit, okay? That is BS. That is baloney. That's a bunch of malarkey. That is not true. Always ask, what can I do instead? And if you're not happy with the answer, go to YouTube University, which we're on right now, okay? Do not take everything I say as gospel or anything I say as gospel. Use this as a beginning to go find out on this YouTube University more about it. Or drop a comment down below and we can chat more on it. Or I can direct you somewhere else, okay? You might think this is nuts, but an hour and a half every morning, I watch health videos. And if I pick up one little nugget now for me, it's pretty cool, okay? And it helps. Do not accept that for overweight, over 60 men. Do not, okay? Become your own advocate. You are your best counsel. Use YouTube, like I said. Use AI, okay? I do all the time. I use Grok and I use ChatGPT and I just got Claude. Now I use them for my businesses, but there are free versions of all of those that are very adequate for this level, okay? Do the research, learn, question, and don't outsource your future, okay? You are in charge of your future, not some doctor, not some PA, okay? I can't even see my doctor anymore because they just pack us in and I get a PA, okay? So, and they don't know all the, they're not like they don't know the answers. I mean, you feel very inadequate going to talk to them. And I'm no offense to PAs, okay? But if you don't feel confident, okay, you should question it and go do your own research and do your research before you go in so you're ready for them. Why I'm on this mission? First of all, I'm not the poster child, okay? I want you to become the poster child for this. I'm just ahead of you. I'm just a little bit ahead of you, and I'm on track. I've got 3 brothers that eat like I do, and we're going to get to what I eat. I've got a nephew. My 3 brothers, let's see, Gary lost 60 or 70, Mark about 40, Michael about 25. I got a nephew. He lives in Canada. I'm in Rochester, New York, by the way. My nephew, Nathan, lost 30 pounds so far. And I've got 2 cousins, okay, that have both lost a ton of weight. Actually, one didn't. He's a type 1 diabetic, but he cut his medication, his insulin, in half, okay? All of these are men. They've been on this for over a year, most of them, okay? I haven't changed it. They changed their lives, okay? I just led the way. And I didn't ask them to get on. I didn't preach to them. They saw me change. They saw me from one year to the next, and I was like 50 pounds lighter. And I go, wow, what did you do? And then I told them the story about the diabetes and the neuropathy, and that's why I did it, okay? I said weight loss alone is not the reason to do it. You've got to have other reasons, and they all had other reasons, okay? Okay, the energy myth. We're told energy disappears with age. That's BS. I'm 69. I have more energy now than I had in my 40s and 50s. As you can probably tell, this is not fake, okay? I am very energetic. I used to have to take a nap every afternoon. I don't anymore, okay? I sleep. Sleep is very important. I get a minimum of 7 hours sleep, the most I ever sleep is 8 hours, okay? That works for me. Now, when I was younger, I thought it was a badge of honor to sleep 5 hours a night. Well, you're killing yourself when you do that, okay? Your body needs time to regenerate. I just started a new business at age 69, and my health made that possible, okay? Here's the hard line for us men over 60. You can get away with bad habits when you're 35 to 50 years old, okay? You cannot at 60 plus years. You cannot keep up these bad habits, or you're going to take a dirt nap sooner than you'd like, okay? Exercise is no longer cosmetic, okay? It's survival and it's function, okay? One of the best things is balance, okay? Here's a simple little balance exercise. You can't see me, but I got one foot just 6 inches off the ground, and boom, got my arms out, I'm balancing. That is an important exercise for us, balance, okay? Because you don't want to fall, okay? I walk downstairs watching one step at a time, okay? And balance is one of those. I'm not a gym rat. Here's what I do. I walk most days. I stretch. I used to take yoga in a class, but I stretch every day, okay? I'll go to YouTube, watch some beginner yoga and do some stretching. So important. So important. At 69, when I get up in the morning, I am not sore one iota. You know, we go on these golf trips with my older buddies. They get out of bed and it's like, for the first 10 minutes, they got to walk it off. I do not, okay? Most of it is because of the way that I eat. And I'm going to talk about that, okay? A little bit at our age goes a long, long way. It shows up quickly, okay? Here's what I eat. Okay. And don't freak out on me. First of all, I'm not a vegetarian, okay? Far from it. I did that for 9 months when I was younger, and I thought it was the whole rage, but it's not. The primary thing we need at our age, actually all of us need it, but really more than ever, is protein. Protein. And where do you get protein? Not beans, okay? They got side effects with a bunch of other things. Meat. I eat red meat, I eat chicken, I eat pork, okay? I eat bacon, I eat dairy, okay? Let's see, cheese, I also eat that, like cottage cheese for a snack, and I don't do it as much as I used to, but I'll take a piece of cheese. I shop at Aldi's, okay? I'll get some cheese, the sliced cheese, and I'll get some chicken. I'll wrap it up and, put chicken in the middle, and I'll wrap a piece of cheddar cheese around it, and I'll eat that for a snack, okay? I eat nothing in a box, nothing in a bag. No more Cheez-Its, no more Doritos, no more crackers, okay? Definitely no more candy, okay? Reese's peanut butter cups were my favorite. I mean, they still are my favorite, but I haven't had one in 3 years, okay? It just doesn't turn me on any longer. Also, when I eat some of the food, in the beginning, I don't do it as much today, but I did it when I was starting out. I'd go pretty good for like a couple of months, and I'd have a potato. The next day, diarrhea. You know how you eat something and you get sick when you were a kid and you never eat that anymore? Well, it's very difficult for me to eat potatoes now, even at the holidays. I had one little tiny spoonful at Thanksgiving and I was fine. If I would have had 3 or 4 spoonfuls, the next day it would have been a shit show, okay? So cheese, dairy, nothing in a bag or a box. The first few weeks took some willpower, okay? Oh, by the way, no sugar, no carbs. The only carbs I really get is I drink Miller Lite or Blue Light, with my golfing buddies. Per can, there's only 5 carbs, okay? I'd say on a bad day, I have like 10 or 15 carbs total, and that's nothing, okay? On a good day, 0 carbs, nothing. Can you survive without carbs? I'm telling you, you can. I've survived for 3 years. And I know a boatload of people that have, actually, they thrive on it. Now, you shouldn't believe me. You should go check it out yourself, okay? I'm going to leave some links down below to some carnivore guys that I really trust. Actually, I did an interview with one of them in August, and Dave Mack is his name. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to write it down right here. Dave Mack. Let me leave the link down below. So go check it out yourself. So if you don't know what to eat, or you got a question about that or something, down below. A big part of that, and this is going to turn off some of you, fat content is very important. You know, lean. You know, if you got a lot of money and you want to eat just tenderloin, okay, just fillets, tenderloin fillets, no, you need fat. Eat just ribeyes, okay. If you got the cash, eat a ribeye every day. Here's what I eat. I eat either a ribeye, a T-bone. Believe it or not, my favorite is ground beef. Salt and butter. I mean, I get the 80-20, and I eat all the juice and everything because we need that fat. That our body needs that fat. Again, don't take my word for it. Go check it out, okay? Food is medicine. I used to wear 40-inch waist, okay? As you can tell, I'm a golfer, okay? And as you can tell by the color of my glasses, that matches my wind shirt. By the way, this is a wind shirt. It's lined for the winter. It's a FootJoy wind shirt, okay? I got all of these things. I had a 40-inch waist. Now I'm a 36, and it's very comfortable. Actually, some 36s are a little bit loose on me. I've got to wear a belt, where before I didn't need to, okay? About half the rounds of golf I play every year, and I play a minimum of 100, I walk, okay? I carry my bag. So there are twice a year that I play 5 days in a row, 36 holes a day. These are on some of the tournaments, the golf trips that we go on, okay? That's how much golf we play. And I don't walk any of those or in a cart, but it's 36 holes, and I can make it easily, okay? In fact, I play better usually the second 18 because you're kind of warmed up. If you're a golfer, you understand that, okay? This matters most. I am not the answer, like I told you. I'm the beginning. If this concerns you, if your weight concerns you, by the way, your weight triggers if you're obese, like I was, okay, it triggers every autoimmune disease. It triggers heart disease. It triggers Crohn's disease. I got a very good friend that I met in the early 80s. Just saw him the other day. His brother in the 90s had Crohn's disease. David's brother Paul, and I knew Paul also back then, doesn't live in town anymore. He went on the Atkins diet. You remember the Atkins diet, right? Well, it's basically the carnivore diet. And he no longer has Crohn's disease. He's just meat, and he's been doing it since the mid-90s. So that's 30 years he's been doing it. It might even be earlier than that. And my buddy Dave lost a sister that was older in college to Crohn's disease. The Atkins diet wasn't available back then. So this is very powerful stuff. Very powerful way to change your life, okay? Let's recap. Fat male friends over 60 do not have to accept decline. You don't need to accept decline. Overweight over 60 is not inevitable. You know, you hear this also, okay? Gee, it's harder to lose weight as you get older. That's BS also, okay? It's hard at any age to lose weight. But if you have a system and you have a reason like I did, I want to get rid of my neuropathy so I could play golf, okay? I wasn't even thinking about losing the weight, but the weight came off. And now all these golf outfits fit me. I have to change all my outfits and all that. And I can see my belt. Before, nobody could see my belt. I couldn't see my belt. I can look down and see my belt now. Would you like to be like that? I can help you. Just try this, okay? Just try it. That's all. Ask better questions. Be your own advocate. Time matters. Now is the time. Don't wait. Don't say tomorrow I'll start. Don't say Monday. Start today, okay? Start today. Sorry about that. I get very excited about this. Life still matters. Time still matters. Freedom still matters. Legacy still matters. Don't retire from life. Redesign your life. Okay, that is it. Okay. Down below, I've got a little, with my other business about, I help people write books for their grandkids, okay, their legacy book. Down below, you can find out information on that. And please, let me know of any questions you have. Please, any questions, leave the comments down below, and I promise I will get back to you. Well, it's the day after Christmas. Happy New Year, and make 2026 your best year ever. Thanks, and make it a great day, and Happy New Year again. Bye.